Okay, so this is a quick video on the multiplier. The multiplier is defined as an increase in investment or other injection that will lead to a greater increase in income in an economy in the longer term. Now, the multiplier is really important because it underpins a lot of what Keynes had to say in relation to how an economy needs to be managed. Because Keynes really believed that at times of severe recession or depression, that it was the government's role to intervene in the economy. And the main reason that he felt this was the case was because the government was the only body that was large enough to be able to affect the economy. Now, what's really important to remember about Keynes's views was that he didn't say you should use monetary policy, he didn't say that any other tools should be used by a government, but he did say that the government was the only one who was big enough to have a real long-term impact on the economy. And therefore, at times of recession, severe recession and depression, it was their role to intervene. Okay, now the idea of a multiplier is the fact that when a government spends money in the economy, it has such a great impact that even if that money was taken out of the economy later on, say through increase in tax revenues, that the impact of the initial spending would still be so large that would still be a huge impact on the economy longer term. Okay, so what is the actual value given to the multiplier? Well, the value of the multiplier is 1 over MPS, okay? So 1 over the marginal propensity to save, or 1 over 1 minus the MPC, which is the marginal propensity to consume. Now, often in exams we'll be given this figure. You may be given the MPC and be expected to work out the MPS, you may be given the MPS, but you're often given it in the exam, and then from that you need to work out what the value of the multiplier is going to be. Now, obviously, before we actually move on from this, let's think about this logically. Now, if savings are high, then you're going to have a smaller impact on the economy because you've got greater levels of withdrawals. If consumption is high, okay, this one here, then you're going to have a bigger impact on the economy because you've got more money going around the economy. Obviously, these are opposites, okay? Now, how can we actually find out the value of the multiplier? Well, on an Excel, they have this particular thing that they don't use in other exam boards. But we look at the value of withdrawals. Okay, so the value of withdrawals is worked out by the circular flow. Okay, your money flowing out, money going back in, money flowing out, money going back in. We know this diagram, we've used it a lot in class. Okay. So the withdrawals are the value of the items which are coming out of the circular flow, okay? And if I asked you to actually do this in class now, you'd be able to do this quite easily. So the value of marginal propensity of withdrawals, the value of these withdrawals are the marginal propensity to save, because that's that one, plus the marginal propensity to tax, because that's that one, plus the marginal propensity to import, which is that one there. Okay. Now, what actually does the multiplier do?